Hello, everyone, and welcome to Memorial Gymnasium on the campus, the beautiful campus of Henry Ford College in Dearborn, Michigan. I'm Jeff Lowe, along with the doctor, Dr. Eric Pate in the house, and it's time for women's college basketball. It's the Henry Ford College versus Muskegon Community College, and Eric, tell us about these two teams.
Well, first off, Henry Ford, you come in 0-8, but it's been some encouraging signs. I see some new faces, and we'll get into that later on through the broadcast. And then Muskegon, of course, they come in at 5-4. They played some junior varsities from some Division III programs in their area, and they love the three ball. I think it's going to be a pretty good matchup.
Muskegon in the blue and Henry Ford in the gray, the light uniforms. Henry Ford going with the smaller lineup. We'll set those starting lineups for you right here. You got Talley, Wilson, Murray, Satterford, and French starting for Henry Ford. Henry Ford 0-8 coming to this one, looking to getting into the winning column. And Muskegon is 5-4, and Muskegon on the board first.
And Muskegon, you'll see a lot of that today. I mean, a lot of perimeter play. These teams, as you said, size-wise, they're evenly matched. A lot of pressure on both sides. Look for on-made baskets. You're going to see a lot of pressure for both of these ball clubs.
Muskegon a matchup defense.
Looks like a little matchup zone that can go into some trapping. And Henry Ford's got to be careful. I noticed they didn't start Faith Plummer today.
Shot clock violation.
And this would be a good opportunity. I don't know. I see Plummer has her warm-ups off, so you can expect her to play. This is one of those games where if you can just get it into the interior, Muskegon's not that tall. Get a lot of easy, high-percentage buckets.
Absolutely, close to the basket. Not a lot of jumpers. Henry Ford picking up full court. And that gave Muskegon a few problems. But they got it down and missed the bucket. Quickly back the other way. Henry Ford drive to the basket. Soft jumper, no good.
Kaya Wilson.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Kaya Wilson was on the ball, defending their number 2 for Henry Ford, about to inbound the basketball. She's been with the program. I think she was with the previous group, if I'm not mistaken, and just good to have her out here. A few other new faces, like Ziana Talley from Western International High School, out on the floor for Henry Ford. So Stanford's going to get a little help today, hopefully, and Tamia French, who's carried a lot of the load for the Hawks.
Good job on getting back on defense. And that was French with the block. Henry Ford only has 7 ball players. So it's a matter of saving a whole lot of energy and not getting any foul trouble.
It didn't take long. Plummer's checking in the ball game for Murray, who also plays volleyball here, and she's been telling us, Jeff, hey, I'm going to play a little basketball.
And she's out here, too. Ice inbound in the inside. And finally a bucket by number 23, and that's Jenna Granger.
And they go right back to the pressure. The Jayhawks trying to turn the Hawks over. They were successful that time on the fast break.
Quickly down the floor goes the Jayhawks, but coming up empty on that one. Nice hard drive to the basket. That's what I like to see. Oh, yeah.
Wilson with a nice move. Nothing fancy. She was all about the business and got the 2 points.
Nice bank shot that time. Number 11, Slater. Good job in breaking the full court pressure. Watch out, that's over and back. Six to 2 in favor of the visiting Muskegon Jayhawks. Here in the first quarter of play here. If you're just joining us, Henry Ford women's basketball on the Henry Ford streaming network. Good D by Henry Ford, three-point shot attempt, drawing nothing but iron.
Henry Ford's got a great opportunity, I think, with the way they run the ball up the floor, and they got that size with Plummer to make some things happen. Nice shot by Stanifer. That is her shot. Henry Ford's a little cold right now, Jeff.
Nice turnaround right there, number 24, Keegan. And that's Keegan Rehauer for Muskegon. Eight to 2 your score in favor of Muskegon.
A 1-2-2 that Muskegon's using.
1-2-2 with a matchup. Looks like it's some
foul, offensive foul there
okay.
on Wilson.
Committing the fouls, number 22.
Tamia French on the foul there.
Yes.
And Jeff, depending on which roster you look at, you either got Granger, Jenna Granger, or Emerson Gooden at the line for Muskegon, because there's two different rosters, but bottom line is
different numbers.
Yeah, bottom line is the same numbers, different people.
Different people, okay.
Which is very confusing, but right now Muskegon's taking it to Henry Ford. Literally, they're going to the basket.
Right, 9 to 2 your score.
And they're trapping.
Good job in breaking the press. That was a great job by Wilson. On her own, just took it into her own hands to go full court and break this press.
Well, Jeff, I would have loved to see her just be a little bit more under control. Get a diagonal pass or two. Sometimes you can be out of control and not make the basket. I mean, she drew the foul. She get to the free throw line. She's got to hit those. I know Wilson looks like this is her first game. You got to trust your teammates in that instance. Instead of 2 points, they get one from the free throw line.
9 to 3 your score. And Henry Ford picking up full pressure, doing some full court pressing. And normally your best offense is your defense in this case. Which turns into points.
Tamia French and Henry Ford is returning the favor. They're going into a trap.
Quickly down the other way, number 23. And that's Granger.
So I guess we're going to go with this roster. I mean, we got to find out what's going on here because we want to get this right.
Keegan Rehauer with the last bucket. 13 to 5 your score. Quickly back the other way.
Tamia French. That's back-to-back baskets. Now Henry Ford starting to get into it. Now let's see if they can stop the Jayhawks. Good steal.
Yes.
Wilson with active hands. Nice pass.
Now that's the way you share the ball. 3 rebounds in a row right there by Plummer.
Wilson has a
Turn around, Wilson.
nice one-on-one moves, but you got to trust your teammates. Your first game back. Get into the flow.
All the way to the bucket. I could do that too, she says. Granger, 6 points for Granger, 15-7 your score.
Wilson's got to slow the tempo. Trust your teammates. There you go. Make a pass or two. Get it to Stanifer, who, I mean, that shot is off.
And Faith Plummer is getting real physical underneath. And that's what your bigs need to do. Plummer has made up in her mind she is going to rule the paint. But not that time. Number one, that's Faith Alexandria. Nice hard move to the basket. Nothing there, and a foul on Faith Plummer. Her first.
This is one of those games where, Jeff, you can get into a lot of trouble against a quicker team. And right now, Muskegon may not necessarily be the quicker team, but they're playing with a lot more energy. You can reach. You can commit some fouls that you normally don't commit. You don't want that to happen.
Timeout has been called. 30-second timeout from Muskegon. With a score of 17-7. With 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Coach Jason Cooper in his first year for the Jayhawks. And now Hawks have dropped back into a zone. 3-point shot attempt, no good from outside. Plummer with the rebound. And there again, as you said before, the guards from Henry Ford have pretty much put their head down and gone straight to the basket.
You got to keep your head up, go to the middle of the floor so you can see everything, and make some good passes.
Outside shot off the turnover there. Faith Plummer trying to go glass, and the bank is not open. .208 remaining here in the first.
Jeff, I'll say this, and I'll say it throughout the broadcast. Unless you trust your teammates, you're going to have some bad results. And right now I'm seeing Henry Ford, they're playing a lot of I don't want to say hero ball, but they're just not sharing the basketball. And that's got to happen. And Faith Plummer.
Second foul.
Well, actually that foul, thank goodness, was called on number 10, Shantae Stanifer.
Okay, let's scratch that one. There's only one foul on Faith Plummer.
Well, that's good, but you don't want her reaching in. You don't want any fouls, but they're going to be committed because the Jayhawks are going to be aggressive going to the basket. You got to move your feet, and as they taught you back in grade school, hands straight up. You don't need to push your body into anyone. Just keep your hands straight up. Alter a shot or two.
Alessandra missed the last 2 free throws, but she comes right down and gets the rebound.
Nice Euro step move by Stanifer, just couldn't finish.
Three-point shot attempt from way outside, drawing nothing but iron, out of bounds, and over to the Hawks. We have the Hawks and we have the Jayhawks.
Let's see if Henry Ford, how they're going to react to the pressure. I mean, and Henry Ford's going right to the sideline.
Wilson kind of jumped right into the defender, and again had her head down and with the penetration.
They're lucky they got the possession error on that one. I mean,
right.
Honestly, this is a time where during the timeout you got to let them know if they're going to come with the pressure. This is what we're going to do. And if you do that, then the players know exactly what's expected. You got to. I know this is Coach Johnson's first year. The assistant, someone's got to say, this is what we're doing out of a timeout when the Jayhawks come with the pressure, because they're not handling that pressure well.
Plummer keeping it alive, and a timeout called by Henry Ford. It's going to be a full timeout. They're going to talk this one over.
And it's a perfect time to address, hey, this is what we're doing when the Jayhawks come with the pressure. They come with the pressure on every make, on a made free throw, on a made field goal. That's what they're doing. And quite honestly, on misses, they are trying to catch you in some traps. Because what Muskegon thinks is Henry Ford doesn't have any ball handlers. Well, when you go to one side of the floor, you're kind of playing right into their hands. So you've got to move the ball. You've got to have your head up and make some passes over the top of a trap. But if you're going to get a press or a trap, offensively, you need to go over the top.
Right. And that's to prevent them from trapping you. And you're absolutely right about that. But the most important part of it is the movement of the ball.
Well, that's what I just said. I mean, you can't run it up one side of the ball on one side of the floor.
Right.
You got to keep your head up. You got to make some passes over the top. That's what you got to do. Otherwise, you're gonna run into some problems. It's still basketball. It's simple. You share it, you move it around, and don't let it be stationary.
And let's see if the Hawks can do that. Not a whole lot of movement offensively by the Hawks. Trying to go inside to Plummer. Good idea. Plummer has pretty much ruled the inside for the Hawks.
Well, I mean, she's the only big girl they have, Jeff. And the best thing, the best strategy, I think, against a smallish Muskegon Community College lineup is to go inside out. You got to convert some of these. But you got to go inside and then look outside.
Wilson not able to convert. That was going to go off the foot of one of the Muskegon players. And back over to Henry Ford. 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter here. Muskegon up 17-9. Tried to force that bounce pass inside. But a good job on getting back on defense by Wilson, now up the floor quickly. .11 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Yeah, I just think it's imperative that they seem to be out of sync, Henry Ford, in terms of offensively what they're doing, and they're trying to force a lot of things. Wilson, for example, she has some ball handling skills. Don't get me wrong. A lot of sauce, but sometimes you just got to keep it simple.
7 seconds. Outside shot, no good, off the mark. 1 second remaining. Desperation shot, no good. That's going to do it for the first quarter. Your score, 9-17 in favor of the Muskegon Jayhawks. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this. You're watching Henry Ford College women's basketball right here on the Henry Ford Streaming Network. We'll be right back. As we begin this second quarter play, Muskegon going straight to the basket pretty hard inside. And Faith Plummer again with the rebound. Let's see what the Hawks do offensively. That one gets knocked away. And Muskegon with the score easily.
And the lead's back to 10 for Muskegon. And there you go. Now, this is what you look for. Nice passes. You're getting some, you got some nice passes on that possession for Henry Ford. Murray just couldn't finish the layup, but on the other end, that was caused by a Henry Ford turnover. You just got to take care of the basketball.
That one's tipped, trying to go inside to Plummer.
Because they're looking to run on every possession, Jeff.
Yeah, well, they are getting it out and running. Off rebounds, off turnovers, they're just turning and going. Coach Cooper will take a 30-second timeout to talk things over. 19-9 your score.
He's got 5 in and 5 coming off the bench. They got a good roster, good number. He substitutes pretty well where everybody gets into the rotation. I just think that, from a Henry Ford standpoint, you're never going to have, I'm not going to say never, but you don't have right now. You got seven young ladies. You got to use it sub judiciously, stay out of foul trouble. But when you have the size advantage that they have right now, it's got to be inside out. Get it into Faith Plummer. If they collapse on her, somebody's open. Mm-hmm. Because if 3 people come to her, 2 people are open. And then you got to knock the shots down.
I totally agree with what you're saying. She has to touch the ball on the offensive series. Just make her touch it at least once in the offense. 21-9 your score. Miller with the 2 free throws. That time a decent job with breaking down that defense. But again, French, that was a solo act.
Maybe French can get going because Stanifer's been struggling. And you certainly need, whenever Henry Ford plays, Stanifer and French have got to be, they got to be on. You add Wilson to this lineup, I think that this, from what we've seen from her, she's active. Now you got to translate that into some offensive firepower. Get this thing going.
Jeffries at the line.
Faith Plummer is a young lady that needs to touch the ball every time they get into a half-court situation.
Jeffries makes her second free throw. Now into the game is Talley. And Wilson is trying to bring it up against this pressure. Went to the wrong spot right there in that corner. Stay out of those corners. And that's where you can definitely get in trouble. 22-11. You're watching Henry Ford women's basketball on the Henry Ford Streaming Network.
2-1-2 defense there, and for Henry Ford, and paid some dividends there. They held them to one shot and corralled the rebound. Now let's see what they do offensively. The movement's got to be there for Henry Ford.
Outside shot attempt, no good. And quickly down the floor. And again, right to the basket. And French. There's nobody else back offensively for her to pass it to that time. Three-point shot is good.
It's got to be demoralizing. You come down, you run your offense, you get a high percentage shot, but you only get one attempt at the rim. You miss it, and then they come down and get an easy layup, or a three-pointer in that case.
French battling. Plummer got her hands on it. And Muskegon comes away with
it. Well, that was Emerson Gooden, who looks like a rerun. Right down the right side of the court for her. Layup. 27-11, and then Wilson, nice pass to Plummer.
Plummer
got to convert that.
She tried to go off glass, put it in the right person's hand, but she just couldn't convert.
She's got to get more comfortable in the paint, turning and trusting her skills.
Three-point attempt, no good.
With the big girls, it's all about, getting in position and having good footwork. It's a developmental thing. It's a process.
Muskegon quickly the other way. Jump shot is good. Henry Ford might need another timeout.
That was Miller on that shot there. Kayla Miller. And Henry Ford just so out of sync right now.
Tally with the shot attempt. And Henry Ford will take it out underneath the basket.
This thing is up to 18 points, and now they bring in a second unit, Muskegon does, and they're paying attention, they're energized, and Henry Ford just seems a little listless, and let's hope that they can snap out of the funk.
Three-point shot, way beyond, and maybe out of her range right there. Get a little closer.
Avanud Al-Shamari is in number 11 for Henry Ford. Another new face on the roster.
Three-point shot attempt is good.
And that young lady is Yuna Soma. She's from Tokyo, Japan. Otaku, Tokyo, Japan. And how she got over here to Muskegon, I'll never guess. Maybe
that's recruiting.
Should go down and ask, but she's got the ball. Henry Ford just scored a bucket there, and good to see. Now you got to hold him to a missed shot, get a rebound, and get moving. No one else is in rebound position other than Plummer. She can't do this alone. She's got to do some team. You got to have some team rebounding, and it's just not happening right now for the Hawks.
Not right now. I'm gonna put you in that coaching seat.
No. I'm in the right spot. It's just, Jeff. I mean, it's real simple. I mean,
yeah.
When you're playing a team that uses a lot of pressure and a lot of trapping, you have to be smart with the basketball. Otherwise, you'll play right into their hands, and they'll execute all night. And execution means easy baskets, easy layups, and one shot.
(32-13) your score. Henry Ford looking to trap in the corner.
Shamari comes away with the ball.
Yeah. She gets her first rebound. And a foul is committed.
She's from Yemen. We got a young lady from Muskegon, from Japan, a young lady from Henry Ford from Yemen.
International.
Man, talk about the global game.
Yes, it is. Some international flavor on the roster. .421 remaining here in the second quarter. Great job right there by Satterfield.
There we go. That's what we're used to seeing. I mean, she's been a spark plug all year, their leading scorer. Got to have her.
.401 remaining here in the second quarter.
And don't forget, folks, it's your first time checking out women's basketball. It's 4 quarters, not 2 halves.
Right.
4 10-minute quarters. Sometimes they can be longer than others.
And a foul committed.
Sydney Murray back in the ball game for Henry Ford.
And Gooden will go to the line, shooting 2.
I just think as Gooden's here at the free throw line for Muskegon, Jeff, Henry Ford's got to get in sync. They're not playing as a cohesive unit, and they don't seem to have a spark about them. This is just like a car. They're the pistons. They're the spark plugs. Everything's got to be in sync.
Got to get it over the timeline, and the pressure forced the turnover. 34-15. Henry Ford kind of just walking back, and Muskegon had the ball in the play and was ready to go. Plummer had her hand on it. They had 2 defenders from Henry Ford there, but neither one of them were able to stop the ball.
Like I said, being listlessness, not moving, not showing active hands. I mean, you got to get out there, you got to hustle, you got to play. You can't tell me that Muskegon is this much more talented than Henry Ford. But as we say that, Soma, 3-point jumper from the top of the key, and they're down 24.
Nice job.
Tamia French, I mean, she's been a mainstay all year. She logs the second most minutes on this team. I wouldn't just let them shoot those threes. I go out and close out. Don't foul, just close out. No one gets an easy 3. If you let them set up, they'll shoot them all day.
Just get your hands up and stay in front of them.
Go to closeout drill where you chop those feet.
Right.
I mean, that never fails. I mean, just the team hits 1, okay, but you can't let them hit 2, 3 in a row. You got to get out there and defend. That's a part of the game as well as offense.
Jeffries at the line, making 1 of 2. 40-17 your score. This corner has been a problem. Oh, man. And Henry Ford turns it over again. And Muskegon, they really weren't applying that much pressure on Henry Ford defensively. Now Ford has dropped back into a zone. That was a good job by Ford defensively. But still rebounding.
I mean, that's just being out hustled.
Yes.
You got to compete. And I think when things happen, Wilson gets into this mode that she has to, hey, save the day. And you're down 25. You're not going to get 25 in a possession. I can guarantee you that, or 26. So you got to play within yourself. Don't try to do too much. Her response is taking it by herself. Can't do that.
Good ball movement by Muskegon. 14 seconds on the shot clock. That's going to be a travel. That's the kind of defense Henry Ford needs. Muskegon in the trap. They love to trap in those corners.
French with a nice pull-up. She's starting to get things together. There's a young lady who shoots the ball in her certain spots on the floor. She knows her talents, her skills, and where to shoot.
And she's under control when she's doing it. Under a minute remaining in the half. Muskegon clearly in command. I think Henry Ford. No, I see some potential in Henry Ford with a few girls, and we've mentioned it. And I think that core, that nucleus, has to really be the focal point of this squad. "40 seconds remaining." Nice job. Woo! Soma. A nice drive to the basket. 46-19. Muskegon has dropped back into a 2-3 zone.
Yeah, I just, when I look at Henry Ford, I just don't see a group that plays together as five.
Right.
It's like 3 against 5. Three young ladies may touch the ball, depending on the possession, and then the other 2 are just out there to make the teams even. You can't have that. You got to have everybody working together, knowing each other's strengths, knowing where to get the ball, the different spots on the floor for where people can be effective. Mm-hmm. If not, you're playing at a disadvantage.
Eighth Plummer hits her first free throw. (46-20). At the half. And at the buzzer.
There's a young lady who knows exactly where her spot is on the floor. She hit 2 3-pointers at the end of this half where she knew exactly where she was going with it when she caught it. She knew, hey, this is where I shoot it. I make these in practice. Bam, knocked it down.
And she knew exactly how much time was remaining in the half.
Oh, they were counting it down. I mean, they were counting it down. Right. She's right in the right spot at all. She was in the right spot at the right time. She knew what to do with it. I mean, and that's part of it too. Don't make the game so hard. And I think Henry Ford did that in the first half. The women they have to get some cohesiveness. They got to play together. They have to have that energy, and it's got to be consistent.
It's halftime. Your score is 49-20. We'll be right back with the second half after this. Welcome back to Memorial Gymnasium. I'm Jeff Lowe along with the doctor, Dr. Eric Pate, in the house. And your halftime score, 49-20 in favor of Muskegon Community College over Henry Ford College. And Eric, break down that first half.
Well, I mean, you burdened me with that one. I mean, 8 of 29 from the field, 0 and 5 from three-point range, and 14 turnovers. I mean I would beg to think that Muskegon probably got 20 points off of 14 turnovers. We don't have a statistician here that can tell us that, but bottom line is Henry Ford, with all that, didn't play together. A lot of folks came down and played one-on-one. They didn't have a good strategy to break the press. At least they didn't execute it anyway. And so you find yourself down 29, and in the second half, you got to break some bad habits, and you got to do it quick, or you're going to lose the game.
And a bright spot for Henry Ford in that first half was Tamia French. She's the leading scorer with 12 points for Henry Ford. And for Muskegon, you had 17 from Gooden and 11 from Soma.
Yeah, French 5 and 9 from the floor, and shot it over 50%. But it's tough to watch Stanifer struggle because she's usually the spark plug for this team.
Mm-hmm. Nice ball movement by Muskegon. That looked like a jump ball, and it is. And possession will maintain by Muskegon. Good hard drive to the basket. Good D that time by French. Had her hand on it. Spacing on the floor has been the problem for this Hawk team. And getting the bounce is Stanifer.
She got the shooter's roll or shooter's bounce on that one, and that's good. Maybe that can get her untracked. Perfect opportunity. Look up the floor and get her the basketball. She was open 4 dribbles ago. Yeah, I got to snap out the coach mode because it'll drive you nuts because Wilson had the ball and dribbled it a bit much when Stanifer was breaking open. Could have quite possibly have been a layup.
Quickly down the floor the other way. It's Fisk, and she has her first 2 points of the second half. And there's a turnover. Fisk looking for the ball, and they kick it back outside. 3-point shot attempt is no good. French with the rebound, goes up hard and hits the floor pretty hard. Stanifer looking for some room inside and finding it.
Well, one thing about shooters, they're going to keep shooting. The good ones do, and Stanifer, she looks more determined to get the shots up. If Henry Ford's going to have any chance, she's going to have to do just that.
And 6 points for Stanifer. And a quick timeout by Muskegon.
Yeah, I don't even like the body language from Henry Ford. They run off the floor. The little things. Show some energy. Show some zest. Show some passion. Show that you are here to play this game. And today they don't have it. They haven't displayed it. It's not too late. They've got a short amount of time to turn it around, but they're just not, no zest. So let's see if they can get some.
And I feel you. And that's in any athletic arena. You got to have that.
And the coach can't give it to you.
Right.
You're born with it or you're not. You want to do it or you don't.
3-point shot is good. And that was number 24 from deep outside. That's Zulik for 3. She had 17 points.
Nice pass.
3-point shot attempt, no good. Bounce pass inside in the paint. And a foul committed by French.
You know, French had 8 rebounds in the first half, and you know, they out-rebounded the Jayhawks in the first half. The Hawks did. But you got to convert those things. You got to continue to hustle and keep playing. You know, this is kind of inexplicable. I don't know where it comes from. Where you know, where maybe it's the holiday thing. I don't know how their practices have gone, but wow.
Gooden has 23 points. I'll make that 22 points. 56-24 here in the third quarter of play. Muskegon up the floor quickly. Trying to turn that turnover into points. Unsuccessful there.
Now watch Henry Ford. No sense of urgency to do anything. I mean, just.
Wilson got up looking for the foul, but she wasn't touched. Jump ball and the possession will go over to Henry Ford. And you said it several times. Henry Ford just seems to be dragging. Not taking good shots, not getting back on defense.
Well, Jeff, it's one of those things. I mean, you don't want to say you're down 32 and you don't have a shot, but you know this is the perfect time for a winless team to start kind of working on some things they need to work on. Getting as we watch the free throw attempt by good perfect time to get some things off the plate. Hey, let's run motion. Let's run this play. Let's run that play. Let's play good heads-up defense. Start to chip away, and then maybe you get this thing down about 15 points with about 6 minutes left. Then you can.
And you got a game.
Then you got a game. But if you're not gonna comply or dedicate yourself to that, nothing's gonna happen.
Satterford looking for a shot, gets it off. Looking inside, that's Sidney. Two-sport athlete. Coming out here to help the women's basketball team.
And Plummer just has not shot it well in point-blank range. And that, that's got to be a byproduct of, not working on the same thing. Because she had made some progress where you could visibly see it in the games. Today, looks like she's taking a step back. It's a nice layup. That's Zulek, and Henry Ford calls timeout, but man, they're not competing for rebounds. They're not running off the floor. Full timeouts called too.
And I could take a look at the assistant coach, and I'm getting what you just described from him, from the assistant coach. It's not enthusiastic. Not talking to he's in the huddle. It's no emotion. It's just.
Yeah, and you're not getting paid to do this, which means that you should want to hustle and want to work. So one day maybe you do get paid to do it.
Oh,
I mean, have that hunger and desire on this level, so it can translate into something different. at the next level, and then who knows what happens after that. But you have to love this game. I mean, you're going to have days like this, but the thing is, they'll continue if you don't change your habits.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, this is college basketball. I don't care how you look at it. This is college basketball. .436 here in the third quarter, 59-24. Pardon me.
Yeah, they've got to talk. They've got to show some communication on the floor, and make it happen.
And they come out and turn the ball over. Outside shot, short. That would have been a two-pointer instead of three-pointer. Stanford is on the floor for the ball. Good hustle by her. And the possession will remain in the hands of Muskegon. .13 on the shot clock. Outside shot is good.
I've yet to see any of Henry Ford's defenders, and I watched the rest of the game, close out on a three, get down in the stance and chop and put your hand up to contest the shot.
Muskegon trying to double on the top. Ford has had some good movement. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Too often I'm seeing Faith Plummer as the only Henry Ford gray jersey underneath. I mean, you got to have somebody else that wants to rebound today.
Muskegon wanting to reset. Suma running the offense. Three-point shot. In and out. Wilson coming down with the rebound.
Wow. That was a hard foul there. Just a bump. Little love tap on the subway there. But you got to hustle, get me on the ball, and just talk. I love to hear the chatter. Haven't heard much chatter from the Hawks. Talk to each other.
Communication.
Wilson is in the stance and looks good.
Outside shot no good by Muskegon. Oh.
Not a bad sequence there by the Hawks, but they need stops. They need a lot right now. They're down 37.
That was Tally on the foul, and that will send number 23 to the line, Gooden. She's the leading scorer in this contest. 23 points. They get 24 points instead of 23. Snatterford at the top, looking for room to shoot it. She got her shot off, but it came up short. Henry Ford just walking it up. Good ball. Good fast break that time.
Layup drill.
Yes.
Henry Ford scored 4 points, and we're under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. 4 points this quarter. They gotta get some things going.
Stanford with his little step through, coming up empty. Quickly back the other way. And Fisk with 2.
Yeah, if you're Henry Ford, if you're Coach Johnson, all the coaches over there, they got to get 5 that want to play basketball. Is it fair to say that it just seems like folks just, you know, they're out there. They're just out there. They, you want more effort, intensity, passion, all those adjectives that describe energy, all those things that describe what you need, hustle. I just didn't see this coming.
3-point shot attempt, no good. Good hard drive to the basket. That time by Wilson.
That's what we're talking about.
Henry Ford will have possession.
Well, Henry Ford hadn't played since December 17th. I mean, it's been a while. It's been nearly 2 weeks, and it's shown. But that being said, we want to see, hey, take a charge. Good job by Wilson. And maybe here it takes her a couple games, and she gets into the flow with more practices with her team, with her teammates. You'll see a better player. Because she has shown spurts of energy early on.
Yes, she has shown some sparks. Plummer.
It's over the top. Not her night. And her body language shows that she's not hustling up and down the floor. I mean, just, I hate to say it, but looking like, hey, I don't even want to be here.
.14 seconds remaining here in the third.
Double dribble.
That's going to do it for the third quarter. It's the Jayhawks 66 and the Hawks 26. Fourth quarter on the way. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Memorial Gymnasium as we are set to start the fourth quarter. My name is Jeff Lowe along with Eric Pate, bringing you women's college basketball. The Henry Ford Hawks and the Muskegon Community College Jayhawks. And the Jayhawks clearly in command with a score of 66-26 and off and running in this fourth quarter. Oh!
Sydney Murray.
Murray with her first 2 points.
Somewhere Dad James Murray, Dr. James Murray, is happy about that. Nice form. Let's see what they do here. They just need to see some folks moving around on this offensive end for Henry Ford.
French from outside. Murray with the rebound. Good look inside.
Wow.
That was a good offensive set right there.
That looked like some college basketball there. I mean, nice pass by Wilson, and that's the kind of stuff that you want her to do all the time. And if you do that kind of stuff and Faith Plummer comes with you, maybe you got something there. Because if you get Plummer to play, you got Stanifer and you've got
Wilson.
No, not Wilson. French.
Stanifer,
French. You get Wilson to start to play a little bit, and Plummer, getting that ball to her in the right place, and she has better footwork. Then you got 4 players who, you can get a fifth. You get a fifth out there, and then you really start to compete. But it's about effort. Mm-hmm. I don't care who you put out there. They've got to have the effort every time out. You just can't come, show up, put a jersey on. You got to have some pride. I don't know like I said, I don't know what the practice schedule has been. I don't know what they've done. They just don't look in sync right now.
They're looking for their first victory of the season. They're 0-8 on the year.
If they were to get their first win today, it'd be the greatest comeback ever.
Greatest comeback.
Forget the Buffalo Bills and what they did in the '92 playoffs. This would be the greatest comeback ever.
This would be ESPN worthy. Outside shot, no good. Good job by Satterford snatching the rebound right there. Up the floor quickly, now baseline. Good drive again, just couldn't finish.
Yeah, left it short. That's okay, just get back down the floor. Just keep hustling. I would hope that the coach said, all I want to see is some young ladies running this floor. Because that has been missing today.
Yes. French with a turnaround. Had a good look at the basket, coming up short. A little crossover dribble that time, and losing the handle was Muskegon, but finding it is another Muskegon player, and that's Zolik putting it back up and in for Muskegon. Wilson with the little kick out. Back up top to French. Somehow Zoma, it was just got in the paint and got that rebound. And she just got it from Faith Plummer. And turned it into some points. Turnaround jumper, no good.
Wow. Wilson's got to learn how to use her energy and her body properly. It seems like she went through so many movements to get the shot off. And once she learns that, man, she could probably be a scorer because she has the aggressiveness, and the attitude
and
to score.
And the speed.
Well, we see all those things, but I'm talking about these intangibles that can really help her. She just needs someone to coach her in that way. And sometimes when you see some of these young ladies, you wonder if they've been coached. high school is where where you get the most growth.
Right.
It shouldn't happen at this level. By this time, you know how to play.
Outside shot no good by Henry Ford. Good job by Statterford on the block there. Got her hands up and in the right place. Quickly back down the floor, and now she's being doubled. I don't know how she got that one off, but she got it off. She got it off without being fouled. 6:10 remaining in this one. 74-30 your score. Outside shot, no good. As Tally threw that one up. And that's going to be a travel.
This game's gotten a little sloppy since they've gone to the bench, and with 6 minutes left, I'm sure if you're Muskegon, you're saying, hey, let's get out of here healthy. And if you're Henry Ford, you're saying, let's execute, let's keep working hard, let's see what happens, and let's win the last 6 minutes.
You know, you're absolutely right. That's how you play the game when you're a team like Henry Ford. Let's win sections of the game. Let's shorten the game.
Well, let's be real. You got to play as many mind games as you can.
You're right.
You're down 44.
Yes.
And whatever it is, whatever it takes, whatever it is, to get the team motivated to get it done, you got to do it.
Wait, but there are little victories within the ball game.
6 minutes.
It's 6 minutes.
Let's win the 6 minutes. Jeff, what else needs to be said? Win the 6 minutes.
There are still little victories in
win the
in
6 minutes. I said it.
Yeah.
You fight and you battle to win the 6 minutes.
Fight,
that's it.
and go for it.
And go for it. That's all. What else needs to be said? They have to get something out of this today. I mean, you're getting pounded. You've since halftime you scored 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
And it just has not gone your way at all. And part of it is, and I would say probably half of it is self-inflicted. Folks just, even one of the assistant coaches said, hey, I don't like your body language. He said that in between the quarters. And it's got to be better. Some of the stuff is self-inflicted because you're not showing that you care about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's a problem.
Oh, watch out. It's foul on the floor. Muskegon will take it out on the side. 5 minutes remaining. 9 on the shot clock, and Henry Ford gets the rebound, Tally, and turns it over. Wilson comes away with the rebound, speeding down floor, turnaround jumper.
And you had three Henry Ford players didn't cross the three-point arc. I mean, that's hustle. You got to get folks that want to run the floor. Look, I mean, even now are we taking a walk in the park or are we playing basketball? We got to get down the floor.
Murray with the ball out top.
Jeff, remember we talked about 6 minutes and winning the final 6 minutes? Not going so well. Number 0, I know the feeling, Zayana Talley. She started the game. When you get in the game late, it's all about getting in the scorebooks. I don't care what anybody tells you. Take it from me.
Her. She got on the board.
Take it from me.
She got
you
in the book.
You want to get in the books. The outcome is pretty much decided. You want to get in the books one way or the other.
3:42 remaining. A big lead by Muskegon. Muskegon want to continue to run. That one's up and fouled in the act of shooting by French. That's going to be all for French. That's her 5th foul.
Kind of a tough half. She played well in the first half. Shot 5 for 9 from the floor. We don't have the stats where we can tell you how she finished, but you know, she tried to give her team a
boost.
Some boost is a great word, because no one else has been scoring. Wilson picks up a bucket there. You like her athleticism, but there's a lot to be desired there. I want her to become a two-way player.
Hey, I see a lot of talent in her, though.
Got to play hard all the time.
Again, Wilson to the basket. And Faith Plummer getting the rebound and putting up 2. Plummer on the block.
Good block.
Quickly down the floor. Good look to Murray. Murray just couldn't get a handle of it. As Wilson with the no-look pass inside. 2 minutes remaining in this one. 2:26 to be exact.
Don't forget the men are coming up next, and Muskegon Community College men and Henry Ford should be a pretty good game. Henry Ford coming off that big win against South Suburban, the defending national champs. It's always tough to play back-to-back. So let's see early on what Henry Ford has when the men get out here.
Sieber on the short jumper. Minute and a half remaining in this one. It's going to be Sadler's 4th foul. Stanford's 4th foul, pardon me.
Shantae has logged some big minutes today. Hasn't been one of her better shooting nights, but trust me, I'm sure she'll be right back at it next game.
Three-point shot by Satterford. Approaching the 1 minute mark. As you said, the men are coming up next, so keep it right here on the Henry Ford streaming network. We'll be bringing you all the action of the men's basketball and Henry Ford athletics right here on the Henry Ford streaming network. 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in this one. Wilson looking inside to Plummer. Plummer had that one tipped and blocked.
When the lead expands in high school, when the lead expands over 40, the clock runs. Not in college basketball.
Not in college
basketball. No mercy. You got to play all 40 in the regulated speed here. So a foul, they stop. The clock stops. This for high school basketball would have been done 10 whole clock minutes ago, but you want to get all 40 in, you got to take the crookeds with the straights.
That's right.
Henry Ford is now down 50. And my mentality is I'm trying to score and get a good basket so we don't go, at least we didn't lose by 50. I mean, that would have been my moniker. But, hey, I'm up here.
Muskegon will let the clock run out, and they'll have a 50-point victory over Henry Ford College, 85-35. Your final score. Eric, your final thoughts on this?
Well, just want to see more cohesiveness from Henry Ford. Want to see just more energy, more passion, more enthusiasm, and I think it'll come. I mean, the more these young ladies work together, the better they can be. And what else can you expect? I mean, they're at the bottom, and it's kind of a step back. We'll just say it was the holiday.
All right. All right, the men are coming up next right here, so keep it locked in on the Henry Ford Streaming Network. We'll be right back after this.